Open up your mind to the way, the conscious way, the way of conscious mindfulness. Hey, Seafood Boggy here once again, and welcome to this early edition of The Way of Conscious Mindfulness. So firstly, who the heck am I and what's this show all about? Well, my name is Sifu Boggy. Sifu means guide, muse, somebody who points you along the way, who guides you along your path. Boggy is my martial art, my healing, and my spiritual name, and it means the balancer between the chaos and the calmness. So I adapt my mastering the last 37 years skills like Qigong, Tai Chi, Shaolin Kung Fu, Chinese medicine, reflexology, Tit-Ta, Tui-Na, Reiki, Shunqi Shen, and many other different techniques that I've mastered, and I adapt them to the individual's needs. Because my aim, my goal, is to help healers, coaches, and light workers supercharge themselves and ensure they never burn out. Because traditionally, in the old ways, healers, coaches, light workers, everybody was supposed to be an abundance of energy and were always grounded and didn't suffer from things like burnout or overly got tired. So how does that mix into this show? Well, the show is called The Way of Conscious Mindfulness. It is a regular show, a YouTube live podcast discussing spirituality and science, balancing health and well-being with mind, body, and spirit with a Taoist twist. What does the Tao mean? The Tao means the way, the path, the balance. So, firstly, this isn't a normal show. Anything with me in it isn't normal. Each week, I have either a subject or a guest. Today, we have a very great guest. On a very more, this is a side I haven't touched too much within the shows. Now, for those who didn't know, I actually used to be a chef and a baker, and I've also studied the Chinese 5 medicine food theory, which is all about food, nutrition, and healing. And ice skating and martial arts has always been my thing. So fitness has always been my thing. And it's great to have the guest I have on today. So our aim is to have an open discussion to help us all find new skills, new ways, new techniques to balance our very own path, way, or Tao. So without further ado, with a few presses of a couple of little buttons, I will bring on the mighty John D. Pass in 3, 2, 1. Hello, sir. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
Even better for having you on the show. So, it's a great honor and pleasure to have you on. We did have a few technical difficulties, both being on the other side of the planet always makes things a little bit more difficult. But I love technology. I mean, it is amazing to think you're Canada, aren't you? Not States, or you?
Toronto,
yeah. The Maple Leafs. Hockey fan. Yeah, see, I'm not a normal Brit. I can't stand soccer, as you guys call it. I can't stand football. I love ice hockey. Ice hockey.
Wow.
I actually started off as a figure skater. I started off. Have you heard of Torval and Dean? The figure skaters, they were like in the 80s and 90s, especially Olympic. They were Olympic winners.
I probably would have watched them. I just don't remember the names. I wasn't a big figure skating fan. I'm not a big hockey fan. I'm a bigger soccer fan in our family. My wife's Portuguese. I'm Jamaican. And soccer or football is a little bigger in our family than is hockly. And actually,
you know what? I'm starting to find this. I'm starting to find more and more Americans that are actually really into soccer, and it's like, blimey, what's going on, man? It is quite funny. It is quite cool.
So we've got a little role reversal there.
Oh well, it's all good. It's all good. What?
Sure it is.
Whatever works, because I think we're going to talk about this, but fitness is about, for me, it's about passion and fun. Because if you can't find the thing, if you can't make fitness fun, you'll never get fit, because you'll never get past that barrier of it's not fun. You have to find a way of making it enjoyable, but we'll talk about that in a second. So very, very quickly, we've got a couple of people on. So Adele, hi Adele, saying Sifu, that's what she calls me. It's the mighty Krista, Shating Titia, as I call her, and she's also saying welcome to John as well. So John, let's do that question. Let's kick in and do that question. So the question I've asked is, I think you're 140. You're around about 140th person I've had on the show, 140th
Cool.
guest.
Cool.
So that question that has actually had at least 2 people run away. So that question is, so John DePass, this is your show. This is the way of John DePass. So John, what is your way? What is your personal Tao?
What is my Tao? I like that. I like that question. I'll tell you that my Tao stems from, like what you mentioned, exercise, because that's my original starting place. I was a competitive bodybuilder, an international level bodybuilder. I've been an athlete my whole life, starting off as a soccer player, and a football player, a sprinter, an all-round athlete. Athletics was my thing. I wanted to stay in athletics. I studied kinesiology. I studied psychology. I became a personal trainer. I started working in the gym, and that was 30 years ago, right? I've been a trainer for 29 years. I'm 47 years old. And I've been a trainer since I was 18 years old. And I was Mr. Junior Ontario when I was 19 years old. I was in the Mr. Universe competition when I was 23. I was the youngest man in the show that year. I was Mr. North America in 1996. So I was, an international level bodybuilder. So fitness, that was where this whole thing for me started from. And I think it's a big starting place for many people that are doing the mindfulness thing, the mindfulness way, trying to understand the other side. That's what I would like to, kind of maybe open the mind up to this alternative idea that there is a different way to living. There is, a choice, and it's not that one way is right and one way is wrong. I don't want to be sitting here trying to describe myself as being higher or better than anybody else. I'm just sitting here telling you that the most human thing, the thing that separates us from the animals, is that we have choice. The animals have instinct. They just kind of do. They just kind of be. They just kind of are. And humans have a choice in that we can be and do and are, or we can be in our physical self. There's 2 parts to us, in that there is a spiritual self. I like to call it spirit. Some people like to call it subconscious. Some people like to call it God. Some people want to call it energy. Some people want to call it science. Some people want to call it the collective unconscious. I really don't care what you want to call it. It makes no difference to me what you call it.
It makes no difference to it. It doesn't care what you call it. and the interesting, it's like there's like somebody once said about an actual quantum physicist I knew, like when somebody else was talking about energy healing, and somebody said, "Oh, I don't believe in energy healing," and the quantum physicist says, "Well, actually, we know that energy healing exists because we know that the observer affects the experiment. Therefore, we know that what you focus on, you're affecting the physical reality." And to be honest, this quantum physicist. To be honest, the atom doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It's going to exist anyway. And the same with the energy. It don't care what you believe, because everything exists because it's meant to exist. As simple as that. And there's this great Bruce Lipton. The Dr. Bruce Lipton. The whole nocebo and placebo effect. When you study, have you heard of the nocebo effect?
Nocebo?
Yeah, so so placebo obviously is the tablets they created, and what they had to create a neutral tablet. In medicine, you have to have a neutral test subject to know if that medicine
makes sense.
And what they found was that over 60% of the people who took nocebos, so this was the dummy tablet, the sugar tablet, they were actually getting better. Now, what the pharmaceutical companies also know is what's called the nocebo effect. Is they've actually done case studies on people who believed from their illness it will kill them or it will have great terminal effects to them. They've shown, and they know as a scientific fact, that 60% of people who think they're going to get ill, 60% of them will get ill. 60% of them will actually deteriorate. Instead of getting better, they'll get worse. They've even had, and the reason they know this is that from the tablets where tablets actually worked, the people who believed it wouldn't work, it didn't work. And this is and these are scientists. This is not woo woo. These are scientists saying this. Bruce Lipton is a doctor and a medical scientist, and the evidence is there. The medical profession know this. The pharmaceutical companies know this, but they don't want it known because they can't make money from it. They can't make money from you knowing that you can heal yourself, or that you thinking you're going to get ill will actually affect your body. They don't want people to know this. So, yeah, it's very much in line. There's a little bit of information. Look him up, Bruce Lipton. There's some really interesting information. And for me, I've had friends like bodybuilders and whatnot, and you can actually, I've seen two bodybuilders, one that definitely should win a competition and one that shouldn't. The one that shouldn't was so determined, and I've seen him win, where the other one self-doubted himself, or somebody planted a seed, and he didn't do the move right. He mucked up the form. He didn't look confident, and your belief affects your reality. That's a big, whether you like it or not, it's just the way it is. But anyway, yes. This is your show. You continue.
So, like I say, I think it's about choice. I think that's the human choice that all of us humans have to interact with our life as just physical entities, enjoying the physical pleasures of life, and living in the world of coffee and alcohol and money and material things and sickness and illness and disease, and we can stay there, and we can enjoy that experience, and we can be happy with that. And if that's the choice that we make, then a responsible choice would be to be happy with that. So what I'm saying is, if you're saying coffee and alcohol make you happy, then there's coffee on every single corner and there's alcohol at every single restaurant and every single bar. So you should be really happy, right? If that's what makes you happy, then you should be really happy. And if that's not making you happy, then maybe you're realizing that there is something more. And that's a choice that you can explore and discover and realize your other identity. And that's what I like to tell people, is that you have a alternative identity that you can step into. So there is a spirit body, another aspect to the self that we can develop and create a relationship with, and lift that energy up and invite that energy up and express that energy in our physical bodies. We can awaken that spiritual body in our physical life. So the spirit body can come to life within the human physical experience if we choose to explore and develop and create and allow that to happen. But it takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of mental reprogramming in order for that to happen, because the subconscious mind has been programmed from when we were children to accept our ego or our personality or kind of our physical representation of ourselves as us. And we have identified with that, and this is us. And these are our lack and our limitations, our roles. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a trainer, I'm a son, you know, I am an employer, and these are my roles, and these are the things that I do, and this is how much money I make, and this is when I wake up, and this is when I go to sleep, and this is the foods I eat, and this is the calories that I need, and these are the protein requirements I have, and these are the vitamin requirements I have, these are the mineral requirements I have, and this is what amount of sleep I need to get every single day. And if I don't get it, I'll be unhappy. And you know what? All of this stuff is what creates me, the ego, the personality that I've kind of accepted as me. And it's all kind of subconscious programming and lack and limited thoughts and belief that create this me. You know, I'm an expression of the things that have happened to me, the traumas, the sadness, the sorrow, the pain, and all of that has created this expression, this social mask that I put out there. And I can stay stuck in just me, John DePass, the personal trainer, the bodybuilder, John DePass, the husband, the father. I can just be that guy, or I can step into something more, and I can move into that, you know, unlimited, infinite spirit light being, all powerful being that's within me. I can wake up to that within my physical experience, and I can become that all powerful being, and I can take back my power from coffee, from alcohol, from my career, from my relationship, from my roles, from my food. I can take back the power that I've given away to all of the things that I've, you know, originally or initially thought and believed that I had to have in my life, and I can change and rearrange all of them and create something completely different if I choose.
Amen, brother. That's all I gotta say. Amen. It's great to me. That's what I love. It's so funny. The internet, I said earlier, the internet's such a great place because it allows you to connect, but it allows you to connect with people. These sort of conversations are ways of you realizing how many people actually think the same, or how many people want the same thing. How many, you know, because when you're in your small little, you know, or your big little city, whether it's big or small, but wherever you are in the world, you're one little place. But when you can start actually having conversations like this, and you can start seeing that you're not the only one who thinks like this, who feels like this, it's a great, powerful thing. And you're so, I mean, you know, I went, like I said, I went from the martial art route. I started off, I was bullied as a kid, and then I went into martial arts. and very, very quickly I met a teacher, Sifu, called Meili Shun, and he taught me. In essence, he taught me Qigong, but what he taught me was Taoist philosophy or Taoism. And for lots of people in the West, Taoism is either a religion or a philosophy. But Taoism is a philosophy. It's a martial art. It's a healing art. It's a spiritual art. It's what we call the three M's. And the point is that everything's interlaid, interconnected. But the underlying thing is that what these different arts teach you is that, in essence, what you just said is that you have the ability. You are the creator of your own reality. You have the ability to alter and change stuff. I mean, I learned this through Qigong and doing, like, breaking concrete blocks on my head and being cut by a knife and it healing within hours instead of days and all crazy sort of stuff like this. You know, you learn that actually your body is capable of far more stuff. And when you start learning anatomy and physiology, when you start learning about biomechanics, when you then implementing those and you start that, you can, you don't just stand there. There's hundreds of different things happening as you're standing there. You can move your weight in a different position, and just moving your weight in a different position can actually affect the way your brain's working. So when you lean back in your body, you're actually drawing your awareness, your intention from the forebrain, where the 60 to 90,000 thoughts occur every single day, and you draw yourself back into the center of your brain. You start activating that subconscious. You start allowing yourself to actually have more time, to not be caught up in the emotions of your reality, and you start, to see things in a different way. And it's just so cool to hear somebody saying it in a different way, but it's really cool to hear somebody who's saying a similar thing to me or the same thing as me. You can change your own reality. You can, you think that you need that coffee. You think you need that cigarette. You think you need this. You think you need that.
You think, I mean, I've seen some and you say it. And that's the thing, is you speak that lack and limitation into your life. Yeah. You're the creator of that. You're the one that says, oh, I can't live without my coffee. Oh, I can't live without my cheeseburger. Oh, I can't live without my wine at the end of the day. You're the one that creates that reality for yourself, right? Our thoughts and words are real things. They have tremendous power. You already touched on it. The quantum science is there. Quantum science is already 100 years old. And the knowledge and understanding of quantum mechanics is just trickling down to kind of some mainstream awareness, and it's 100 years old. The ideas and knowledge and understanding that intention manifests reality is over 100 years old in the laboratory. Yeah. And it's only just coming to conversation in mainstream population right here and right now. Yeah. 100 years later. So we're 100 years behind what's actually been going on.
Well, the interesting thing, like I've studied, like, say, the ancient arts of Taoism. There's information that it spans at least 10,000 years. You've got Hinduism as well. When you look at these ancient cultures and they talk about certain things, that quantum physics and science has now been clarifying. So we say, the science we recognize is 100 years old, but some of this information spans back thousands of years and more.
Let's face it, it's always been. It's always been. We may not have known it. We may not have been able to say it. We may have been able to speak it.
I love you, brother. I love you, brother.
It's always been there. Right?
And it's the awakening. We are waking up. The
We're
remembering
waking
the
up.
you can call it whatever you want. And the interesting thing is that in different doctrines, in different ancient texts, and even different religions, they talk about a time where man will reawake, will reemerge, will reawaken. And ironically, the age of Aquarius is also actually what is also meant by the golden age, that the age of Aquarius basically officially started round about, or we were fully in it round about 2012. And everybody was on the fear mongering side of the Mayan calendar is saying at the end of the world is 2012. Well, actually, if that was the case, why is there another 8 calendars after that one? But we didn't talk about that. We forgot to talk about that. But the point is that we're at the dawn. We're starting, and look what's happened. Like, I'm 48, so you said no, so
47.
49.
I'm 47.
Yeah, I'm 49. So, or will be in 1 month. So, and yeah, you think 20 years ago, could we talk like we are now 20 years ago? Pardon my French. Hell no. And go another 10 years onto that, we are at such a powerful point in history that we can, is that, and I have such great respect for you, because of the fact that, yes, you are, you're very much into fitness, but the fact that and you understand that it's actually about, the fitness is important, but so is the mind. And the mind is where that fitness comes from. That, successful people to non-successful people, this is a kicker for some people, but it's your attitude, it's your brain, it's the way you think and feel can turn you from unsuccessful to successful. You get the whole psychology of two twins, or having two twins or two brothers. One was kept both in a very poor area, poor city, in a very violent city. One, their attitude was to succeed and they become successful. The other one says, oh no, I can't, this is my life, this is that. And you have these case studies that show that it's your what you believe affects your reality. So you are, whether you believe in manifesting outside is totally irrelevant. Inside your body, you are God. Sorry to be, for those who are religious, but inside your body, you are God. You decide whether you will heal or whether you will die. You decide whether you will get better or whether you will get worse. You will decide whether you will wake up as the wonderful coach Nick says, Seafood Boggy's always bouncing off the walls. He's like he's on drugs. And I don't take drugs. I'll let you know now, I don't need to take drugs. I know how to activate my hypothalamus. I know how to activate my pineal. I know how to run around doing spins and jumps and act like a crazy person. Because that's my focus. My intent is to focus on the positivity and the ups. And then, because the bigger the up, the bigger the down, I also know meditation. I also know how to balance myself off so I don't go into massive downs at the same time. It's all about balance. It's all about finding that way to flow. But hey, what do I know?
So this is it. I do talk about exercise. I think exercise is a massive aspect of awakening, because what we're talking about is bringing awareness and energy to this alternative body, right? We've got the physical body, and yes, my background, comes from religions, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoist study, as well as science. I have a strong science background, psychology, and most recently, detoxification, fasting, the work of Dr. Arnold Ehret, and the work of Professor Hilton Hotima, Dr. Robert Morse, Dr. Sebi. These are the bodies of work that I've studied mostly, and from working through the detoxification process and integrating that with my understanding of religion and spirit, and I have come to realize that we can redirect our energy towards that spirit body, and we can bring that spirit body back to life. We can revive that spirit body and we can wake it up. Now, exercise is an aspect of that. Like oxygen is an aspect of that. We've got to oxygenate the body. We've got to bring energy into the body. So that's why there's a lot of connection with martial arts, with bodybuilding, with fitness, with sport, with athletics, because we're breathing a lot. When we're bringing in a lot of oxygen, oxygen alkalizes the body. And this is the thing, if you are exercising frequently, you're constantly putting that oxygen into your body. And to quote Dr. Sebi, the natural healthy cell, the natural healthy being, the natural healthy body is alkaline and it's electric. Okay, so we are alkaline and electric beings. At birth, we're alkaline and electric. Electric in that we're nervous. We're nervous. We're a nervous system. We're sensory. We take impulse in our eyes. We take sound impulse. We take smell impulse. We take sensation. We take the feelings, emotions, sadness, and sorrow, and we send those signals through our body back to our brain. We evaluate it, and then we respond. So we're stimulus beings. We're movement beings. And in order for us to move a signal or a nervous impulse throughout our body, there has to be a depolarization within the cell. Like the cells have to send signals through the nervous system. And that is electrical current. That's the depolarization of cells. That is a current. So we are electric by nature. We need to be able to conduct electricity. And we're alkaline by nature. And what happens as we age is not that we're getting old because the earth is going around the sun too many times. It has nothing to do with how many times we've gone around the sun. It's not that we're aging because of time. We're aging because we are creating a toxicity within the body. And actually, if we restore what is actually most natural and most normal in the body, then we will live indefinitely. Like I'm not sure what the end point is. Like if you look at the work of Professor Hilton Hotima, you'll see that throughout the 1800s they're trying to find a reason why humans should die, and there's really not really a reason, as long as we are taking good care of ourselves and keeping ourselves in the right space, and that right space being alkaline and electric. And if we can restore that alkaline body, if we can restore that electric body with the right foods, with the right movement, because when we move, we bring oxygen into the body. Oxygen is an alkaline molecule. It detoxifies the body. And what it also brings is it brings an electric current, an electric charge into the body. It's an ion. It's a negatively charged ion. And when we take that oxygen in, it brings energy and electricity into the body. It brings current into the body. So exercise electrifies. That's an aspect of healing. Exercise and oxygenation is an aspect of healing. Moving the body, breathing off carbon dioxide is an aspect of releasing toxicity from your body. We need to alkalize our body from our food, our correct choice of water, and we need to alkalize our body with oxygen, and we need to oxygenate and electrify our body with movement. We need nutritional change. We need exercise. And we need thought and word. We need mindset change. Changing your body and changing your life is physical. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's psychological. It's nutritional. It's movement and exercise. There's a lot of aspects to this, but the first and foremost, most important one is you've got to choose it. You've got to make the choice. You've got to make a decision that, hey, this isn't enough. There's supposed to be more. I wasn't put here to be living paycheck to paycheck in unhappiness. I'm worth more than that. The spirit of my creator is inside of me. I'm connected to creation and I'm worthy of perfection. It's my birthright. I've got to know that. I've got to affirm that. I've got to think that. I've got to believe that. I've got to say that. I got to speak that into my world, into my life. If I don't make that choice, that I'm going to educate myself in that way, then this can't happen. You can't change your life without changing your thoughts, your words, your actions, your behaviors, your habits, your foods, your movement.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. Right, we've got a question. It's actually quite a good one.
Wonderful.
We've got the question is from Adele. She says, do you find generally most people won't listen to this information and just want a quick pill and don't want to do the work?
30 years as a personal trainer. 30 years as a personal trainer. Every day they want to lose weight. They want to tone up. They want to get more energy. They want to, why do they want to lose the weight? Because they want to be more attractive to their mate, or they want to find another mate. They want to have more sex. They want to have more love in their life. They want to feel sexy again. They want to feel worthy. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to improve their self-esteem. So they want to lose weight in order to get happy, right? But it's not just to lose the weight. Okay, listen, I can tell you, eat this food, do these movements, you will lose weight. But you know what will happen? In about 6 weeks or 10 weeks, you'll get bored of it and you'll gain it back. The only way that you're going to, because you don't just want to lose the weight. You want to lose the weight and keep it off for a lifetime. And if you want to lose the weight and keep it off for a lifetime, what needs to happen is you need to recreate yourself. You need to become a different person. And the new person needs to be sustainable. And what I'm suggesting is, if you want to create a new sustainable being right here within me, then what you need to do is you need to align yourself with the actually sustainable being that's within you. There is an unlimited, infinite, all-powerful, sustainable being within you, and you need to align with it and get out of alignment with this subconscious programming that you've accepted as you. You've accepted this personality, John, this role, this person, this trainer, this husband, this father, this guy that's been hurt and doesn't really want to put myself out there anymore. This person that's been, injured and doesn't really want to do that anymore, or is lost and doesn't want to love anymore, doesn't want to risk because of the pain. All of that stuff has created me, this kind of minuscule little, feeble little version of me. It's like, I can't do that. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to put myself out there in love. I don't want to really push myself outside my comfort zone because I could lose or I could win. And then what would I do? Oh my gosh. So we huddle in And we suppress this true spirit energy and this true spirit body that we are. And what we need to do is actually align with that body. We need to make relationship with the true self. We need to learn how to love the true self. It's not a solution to just tell you sets and reps and calories and protein and vitamins. It's not a solution. It's a short-term quick fix. I've seen thousands of people in 30 years lose weight. I've seen thousands of people gain it right back again. If you want to lose the weight and keep it off for good, you need to become a new person. That means you are a function and a result of the things you think and the things you say and the things that you do. So if you want to have different things going on in your life, you've got to start thinking, saying, and doing different things.
This is the Taoist medical version as well. If you become ill, you become ill because of a pattern. You've fallen into a pattern, and that pattern needs to be changed. And then by changing the
programming. Subconscious programming. That's our personality. That's our ego. That's the trap that all of us have fallen into. You know, I had a loss of my mother when I was 18 years old. My father made me move out before I turned 19. Within a few months, I was angry at my dad. I was angry at my mom for leaving me. I lost my first girlfriend, my second girlfriend, my fourth girlfriend. Parents didn't like that I was black, didn't want their daughter dating a black boy. I hated myself because I was black. I was angry at my mother. I was angry at my dad for making me move out. I moved into my life with anger and pain and rage, and I went into this bodybuilding, and I built up this body to like protect myself. Like if I'm big and, you know, I'll be able to get the girls, and that'll be joy and happiness. I'll be Mr. Universe. Hey, I'll be happy. I'll make money. That's joy and happiness. All this physical, material stuff. Listen, that doesn't make you happy. Happiness is not money. Happiness is not a wife. Happiness is not kids. Happiness is not a house. Happiness is not living on the lakeshore. Happiness is not my car. Happiness is not my job. Happiness is not who I am as a role. Happiness is something that's inside of me. It's inside, and it is my nature. It is my spirit body. It is my spiritual nature. It's my spiritual being. That being is in unity with source. It's in alignment with collective consciousness. It is always connected to the infinite field. We always have access to that energy. We can reach out and connect with that energy, but it means identifying with a different part of the self. And now what we need to do is we need to bring that energy up, rise that energy up so that we can feel it, so we can become aware of it, so it becomes real, so we know about it, and then we can slowly shift from this fraudulent identity that we've got identified with this me, the body, the physical me, the lack and limitation, right? I'll tell you something. You're afraid to die? You know what? You never lived. You never lived. The body has never lived a day in its life. It's always been the spirit that's been alive. It's the spirit that gives rise to the body.
Indeed, brother. You're I bloody love you. This is really cool. This is really awesome. Unfortunately, I know that you're on a time frame, and we've actually come. We've come to the end. So, well, I think we need to do another one. I think we're going to have to continue this.
You know what? We can do this again another time. I've been inspired by our conversation. I love talking about this stuff. Right? Obviously, you can see it's passion inside of me. It's what I love. Right? Yeah. It lights me on fire. It brings me up for the day. Thank you for bringing it out. Thanks for letting me talk about my Tao. It's the first time I've ever spoken about my Tao. Right?
Well, there you go. You know, that's what I'm here to do. That's my job. You know, that's another one for the books.
You've inspired me, brother. You've inspired me.
Right. So very, very quickly, because I know you need to go. How can people get hold of you? Where can we find you?
You know, you can find me on Facebook, John DePass. You can find me on my website, www.highendfitness.com. High End is HIEND, high end, HIEND fitness, FITNESS.com. John at highendfitness.com if you want to email me, www.highendfitness.com if you want to check my website. Find me on Facebook, John D. Pass. Right?
That's awesome. If you can, put your website in the comments when you see the page. Put your website in the comments at the end.
Yeah.
If I'd have, I would have put it on the screen, but rather than now, because you need to go. So guys, we'll make sure that the website's on there so you can see it down below later. It's been a great pleasure and honor. We will be booking up again. I'd love to have continue this again. Guys, hope you enjoyed the show. Let's just quickly let you know that tomorrow we have got David Wolf. Yes, David Avocado Wolf is coming on the show tomorrow. I've been working with him for the last 10 years in the background when he comes to the UK, and I've managed to, and he always says, oh, if I want to do Qigong, I do it with a master like Sifu Boggy. So I've actually managed to get him to come on the show. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. John, thank you so much for coming. It's been a great pleasure and honor to have you on once again. Everybody, don't go just yet if you can help. Everybody else, guys, take care. Bye for now. Until next time, it's goodbye from the wonderful John. Goodbye from Sifu Boggy. Goodbye from the Way of Conscious Mindfulness. Bye, guys.